For as long as I can remember, I've always been a fan of kart racing games. I've fallen off the edge of Rainbow Road more times than I'd care to admit, and the Crash Team Racing remake is something I'm genuinely excited about. But not all kart racers are created equal, and on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Nickelodeon Kart Racers. Sure, the box art's not so bad, it's bright and colourful, and anyone who grew up watching Nickelodeon in the 90s or early 2000s will immediately recognise the characters.
So why did it get such shit reviews?
Nickelodeon!
When I look back on all the great Nickelodeon shows that have aired over the years, and the characters that have been such a major part of them, it seems only logical to me that a video game spin-off would feature as many fan favourites as possible. So maybe one of you guys can help me out then, because I've been staring at this character selection screen for the last 10 minutes now, and I'm still trying to figure out just where they're all hiding. See, it turns out there's just 12 different races to pick from, and there doesn't seem to be a way to unlock any others. It's even worse when you realise that these are the only 4 shows with any representation, and this one wasn't even an original Nick cartoon. But as if all that wasn't disappointing enough, none of the characters speak.
You what?
It's like they've all been stripped of their personalities, and as a result, a lot of their charm. I'm baffled as to why they thought voice acting wasn't necessary. I mean, how hard could it be to throw in a few familiar sound bites? Instead, all we get is a heavy dose of this creepy, awkward silence. Oh, and these dumb little speech bubble things.
Nickelodeon!
When it comes to the actual gameplay, the controls are easy enough to pick up, and if you've ever played Mario Kart or any other generic kart racer, then you pretty much already know what's in store here. Choose your favourite character and race over the course of 3 laps to be the first to the finish line. There's your usual selection of wacky power-ups to help you gain an advantage or sabotage your fellow racers, and a cool little slime mechanic in which driving through it and filling up your slime meter gives you a pretty handy speed boost. It feels like there's slime everywhere you look in this game. If you win a race, it even rewards you by dunking a big old bucket of it all over your head. Nice. There's 24 courses in total based on different cartoon landmarks like Bikini Bottom, and 3 solo game modes to choose from: Grand Prix, Free Race, or Time Attack, which are all pretty self-explanatory. Can we just talk about the menus for a second here though? I mean, I get that sometimes less is more and simplicity can sometimes be a design choice, but it just all looks so lazy. Even Beach Buggy Racing had more exciting menus, and that was a port of a bloody mobile game. Crappy menus definitely don't make or break a game, but it's just another area where it feels like they cut corners and try to get away with doing the absolute bare minimum. And for how much this game costs, I'm really not okay with that. Back to the gameplay. Kart racing games are pretty much built around offering a multiplayer experience, and thankfully Nickelodeon Kart Racers has the sense to provide it. As well as the standard racing options, there's also a free-for-all mode, capture the flag, and tag. You can even play with up to 3 friends. As long as they're nearby, that is. If, like me, you have no real-life friends to play with though, then too bad. Nickelodeon doesn't care. There's no online multiplayer, so you're pretty much out of luck. Look, I realise there's been successful kart races before that didn't have online play, but it's 2019. How are you not gonna think to include that? God, I wish I could have been a fly on the wall at the meeting where they designed this game. Even though the lack of any online features is a real disappointment, there is an in-game store where you can spend coins you've collected during races on upgrades for your vehicles. There's not a great deal of choice, but some of the parts do help with boosting your stats, and you'll definitely be glad of any chance to make your kart go faster, because the actual racing in this game can be really quite slow. Seriously, where's the excitement when everybody in the race is just dallying along at a leisurely pace? When I did get overtaken, it wasn't usually because the other cars were going faster, it was just that they were blasting me with power-ups so often that it would send my car into a frenzy and cause me to lag behind. And when I won a race, it didn't leave me feeling particularly accomplished either, probably because it didn't seem like there was much skill involved. Yay! Woohoo!
Nickelodeon!
While Nickelodeon Kart Racers isn't the best looking game I've ever played, the graphics really aren't that bad. Everything's presented in the cartoony way you'd expect it to be, and the environments are colourful and nicely detailed. It's kind of a shame though that there's not more variety in terms of the courses. A lot of them look similar, or are just flat out rehashes of one another, but now with more slime! That said, there are one or two standout tracks which do evoke a nice feeling of nostalgia. With regards to the characters, they're expressive enough and it's obvious who's who, but the 3D models can't help but look a little off to me at times. I mean, they're basically the video game equivalent of those creepy life-size character mascots. Why are those things so unsettling?
Nickelodeon.
Let's talk about the music for a second. First of all, why is it so loud? Annoying, right? Look, it's not that the music is bad, it's just that, much like every other area of this game, there's nothing about it that really stands out. Some of the tracks legitimately sound like elevator music. Take this one for example. See what I mean? Everything just feels so plain and generic. It's like the developers knew they needed a soundtrack so they just threw one together. SpongeBob and the Rugrats both had some great musical direction back in the day, but nothing in this game sounds like anything from either of those shows, or any Nickelodeon show for that matter. You do have to wonder if there was some kind of clause in the licensing prohibiting Bamtang from using any of the original Nicktoons voices or music. But even if that were the case, there was surely nothing stopping them from composing something more similar. Not that a good soundtrack would be enough to save this shitty game anyway.
Nickelodeon.
Although Nickelodeon Kart Racers was never likely to be a serious Mario Kart competitor, on paper this still could have been a decent enough game. But the lazy execution and lack of features makes for one frustratingly hollow experience. This should have been a celebration of all things Nickelodeon. Instead it left me questioning why I even liked any of these shows to begin with. That's not good. And honestly, if you substituted the character models and got rid of the slime, this could literally be any other generic kart racing game. In fact, the branding just feels like it was tacked on at the last minute to try and justify the £30 price tag. I mean seriously, I bought it on sale and I still feel like I got ripped off. But I'd hate to end this review on such a sour note, so here's a few other kart racers you might enjoy instead. Alright guys, well now that I've successfully ruined your childhood, it's time for me to say goodbye. But if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos like this one. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you all in my next dastardly video. Bye guys.